Okay, so first question, just your general thoughts on the game today.
Well, I was happy with our composure. I mean, Ryerson really brought it in the first set, and we were a little bit off. But we settled down when we needed to, we won the points that we needed to, and then just kept our momentum going as the match went.
Speak to the veteran experience of Otto in the first set especially. I think she had 7 kills and was no errors in a set where you kind of needed a little bit of veteran presence. Maybe speak a little bit to that performance.
Yeah, I mean, Casey's, her first national championship was her first year. It was unfortunately a loss in the final, but she's been there and done it, and I think what was probably the most impressive is some of those kills were pretty creative, and it wasn't a matter of her just closing her eyes and hitting it, maybe like she did in her first year. She used a full repertoire of shots and was really smart in her decision making.
And what was the sort of switch between the first and second set in terms of, I mean, the offense really got going in the second and third set especially, so maybe
I think it was a lot of our serve game. Mm-hmm. We really found our serve and got them in a lot of trouble, and then our defense was a lot easier to play defense when they're out of system. When they're in system, they're spectacular, and it was really frustrating to try to keep the ball off the floor in the first set, but our serve came along in the second and third, and that helped a lot.
And last question for me, just speak a little bit about the crowd and the atmosphere of the game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we love that. We love playing in front of a crowd and just the energy that brings. And it was nice of them to wear green t-shirts. We kind of felt like maybe they were cheering for us. But, I know they weren't. But yeah, I mean, really, congratulations to Ryerson for just hosting an incredible event. It's so special for the athletes to be in that facility and to have that kind of context to compete in. And we train really hard in pretty isolated kind of circumstances, so it's nice to come out and show what we do in front of people.
Awesome.
Coach, were you surprised to see Veltman starting on the left side?
No, because they did that in the bronze against Toronto for a couple of sets, and actually one of our staff predicted that lineup, so we knew that could be coming, and we didn't handle it particularly well, but yeah, we knew that was definitely a possibility.
You guys are coming into this weekend ranked number 1. You won the Canada West last weekend. It's been a while since the Pandas have been to the top of the, I guess, U Sports now. What are you guys going to have to do to get back on top of that podium this weekend?
Well, we're going to have to get through a couple of really tough opponents. First will be the winner of this next match. So, you know, I think you win championships by winning series of points and just trying to keep it to the really minute detail of winning points and points and points, and let that other stuff take care of itself. And we've got a lot of work to do in the next few hours to get ready for our next opponent and recover physically. And yeah, so I think in our program we have a tradition that we know how to handle these tournaments. Doesn't guarantee that you win, but we know how to handle it and to prepare for our next one.
Looking forward to the next one. You got either Montreal or Dalhousie. What are you going to have to do to prepare against those two teams?
I'm going to find out in a couple hours here. You know, I haven't seen Dalhousie at all. Montreal we're a little bit more familiar with. We've historically matched up with them a lot at national championships, and they came out to Alberta last year with a very similar lineup, I believe. So there's some familiarity there. We'll have a lot of work to do if it's Dalhousie. But at the end of the day, it's your systems have to hold up, and you know, we don't change a whole lot depending on who the opponent is. It's nice to know kind of what they're going to do, but our systems and our skills have to hold up. And at the end of the day, if that's enough, then it'll be enough.
Sorry, one last question. Injury at the end of the third set there to Jarman. She was pretty dynamic for you guys. Any update on that, or you noticed how that's going?
Lower body injury. We're going to find out in the next little while here, but we're pretty optimistic right now.
Fair enough. Thanks a lot, Coach.